Wi-Fi antennas. Ideally, inside of our networks, they're going to have a radiation pattern that looks a lot like a beach ball. You may have seen an access point like this mounted in the ceiling of a building. Well, this is called an omnidirectional antenna. And the idea is that the radio frequency strength goes out equally in all directions, forming a pattern that looks a lot like a beach ball. However, in our homes, instead of having those ceiling mounted APs, it's very common to have something like this with all these individual antennas sticking up. Well, each of these antennas, they're called a dipole antenna. Let's consider a dipole antenna for a moment. A dipole antenna is supposed to be an omnidirectional antenna with radiation going out equally in all directions, but let's face it, there's not much radiation coming out of the top of this thing, and there's not much radiation coming out of the bottom. It sort of radiates out and forms a donut pattern. So if you can imagine this at the center of the donut, you can see that around the dipole antenna, there's an equal amount of radio frequency strength. However, there's not much going this way and there's not much going that way. So the moral of the story is, when you're orienting your antennas inside of your home, you probably don't want to point your antenna towards the area that you want to give coverage to. The area that needs coverage needs to be at a right angle. It needs to be orthogonal to the dipole antenna. And by the way, it's important to know that concept for the CCNA exam, the Encore exam, and the Network Plus exam. I'll give you one other variation. Over here on the wall, we have a patch antenna. And when we were building our home, I wanted to give Wi-Fi coverage for the pool deck. So what I did is I got a patch antenna, which is not directional. It's not like a Yagi or a parabolic dish antenna. It just generally sends the strength out this way. It's not direct, but it focuses in one general direction. In this case, the pool deck, without sending radio frequency strength and wasting that going back into the house. And that's a look at omnidirectional antennas that you might need to know for your exam.